The opinions expressed on this program are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial advisor, or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, and SIPC. This is the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570.
I'm Margie Shard, and you're listening to the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. Good morning. I am excited today. I'm in the studio with our Valentine's Day special on Love and Money with Ronny Medawar from Medawar Jewelers.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ronny. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
We're going to talk with you today about my favorite topic.
Okay, what is that?
Bling.
Yes, diamonds.
So-
Well, every woman's dream.
Well, my whole theory is you cannot have enough bling.
Well, yeah, I like that theory.
I love that theory. So, Ronny, we're going to talk with you, and then later on in our show today, we're also going to talk with NBC 25's Ilse Hayes. So we have an awesome episode today, and Ronny, I'm so excited to talk about bling because, again, it's my favorite thing. So Valentine's Day spending,
Sure.
13.19 billion average is spent on Valentine's Day.
That's a lot of money.
And 53% of people, if they don't get a Valentine's Day gift, will leave their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a lot of relationships break up because they don't come to you?
We could say that, but I don't know if we can point to that. But I will tell you that if we're here for talking about investments, you can invest in chocolates and flowers that are disappearing in a week, or you can invest that into something else that would be there for generations.
So, Ronny, let's let our listeners know a little bit about you. Okay,
Sure.
Tell me how you got started in the jewelry business. Did you just wake up and say, "Hey, I love bling. I want to go work in the jewelry business"? Or
No, not necessarily. I was born and I popped out and said, "Hey, I love bling." No, I'm a third generation jeweler. So
Okay.
Since 1920, we've been doing our thing. My father, my mother were in the business as well. They still are. You know, they can't let go. They love it.
do they
And-
work in the Flint?
No, they
location,
actually
or-
work in our Lansing location, capital
Okay.
city. Yeah, so it's nice. It's they spend their times there, but that's what sort of got me interested. Going to work with Dad and Mom every day, and I used to help customers when I was 10 years old. Dad would always run out and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and the customer would say, "No, we're having a good time with them." And I love what I do. And
Okay.
if I didn't love what I do, I wouldn't be here.
So you actually have 3 locations.
I have 3 Medawar stores, correct.
Okay, and that is?
There's Lansing, Frandor, and we have one in Flint Township, and then we have one in Fenton, Michigan.
Okay, and so any of those locations, they can have your expertise.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every one of our coworkers go through a rigorous trainings. They still go through. It doesn't matter how long you've been with us. I go through the trainings as well. In fact, I'm going for my certified watchmaker degree as well. So that's a rigorous training. But no matter what we do, we always train our coworkers to try to give that Medawar experience to everybody.
I know, my husband and I use your jewelry stores. We've gone to several. And, over the years, I've had jewelry break. I think like every woman, we fly our hands against something hard and the diamond flies off. Or, I've had necklaces, all sorts of things that
Sure.
I know you've fixed as well.
Absolutely.
And you've always been fair on price, and it's always been a quick turnaround, and everyone's always so friendly. So
Thank you.
What, besides all that good stuff, what separates you from other jewelers?
Well,
Don't you love this question?
I do, because it's a broad question, really, and to be very focused on it, I can focus on maybe one thing. You get us, and getting us means we as a family live and breathe our business.
I would too. I mean, because it's bling.
Well, it's all great, but bling is everything. But you still have to be able to service that bling and be able to understand the business portion of it as well. We love to make people happy. We strive to make people happy, and That's to us, it's more than just opening our doors every morning. To us, it's leaving a legacy for our children's children. For if they want to be in this business.
So they are allowed to deviate if they don't want to be in the jewelry business?
Absolutely. In fact, sometimes I think I don't want my my children to go through what I do sometimes. But, it's all about making a great experience for our clients and people who walk in our doors on a daily basis. Actually, thousands and thousands of people a year. We service many, many people, and it's our passion. And people who work with us, who generally work for a long time, it's their passion as well. So,
and I've experienced that going to your stores. I've seen everybody's very engaged, and I feel very comfortable there. Like I'm not being, no one ever tries to sell me into something I don't want, or it's always the best that they can do, and what is it that I want, and what am I looking for? So I appreciate that. I have some questions because I get a lot of questions from my clients about jewelry and whether it's an investment or not. And, I've got some, I've had a few clients that have, they buy jewelry from all kinds of places. And then other clients have specific jewelers that they go to. And then other clients may be buying jewelry off TV.
Yeah.
Can you comment on that?
Jewelry can be an investment in many different ways. Financial investment, there are some jewelry that definitely is worth the financial investment.
So what would that be?
Lots. I mean, okay, for instance, gold. You've seen what happened to gold in the last 5 years.
Sure.
It's tripled. That at some point is going to reach a point where it's just like it's easy to make your money back, you should say. There's not many things you can buy that later on in life you can actually sell and get what you paid for it. That's one part of it. There's customers who have purchased nice diamonds, and those diamonds have gone up significantly. In the last 5 years, if you purchased, let's say, a 3.5 carat diamond that's certified, and it's let's just shoot out some numbers: SI1 and G in color.
Which means what?
It's the 4 C's.
Okay.
There's the 4 C's: the cut, color, clarity, and carat weight of a diamond. And all of those have a big impact on what the diamond is worth. You can have size, but you don't have to have necessarily the clarity and the color that is nice. Cut is very important as well, because it's not just this. It's not the shape of the diamond. It's actually how the diamond is cut to refract and retract light and give you a better, as you say, bling, a better brilliance.
So how do you know when you're buying diamonds what is what? How do you know you're really getting the real thing and the real deal?
Well, there's certifications you can get, and there's 3 certifications that I believe are true: is Gemological Institute of America, European Gemological Laboratory, and the AGS, which is American Gem Society.
Okay.
Now, those 3 I believe in. Some, of course, I have to take a look at and make sure and confirm. But that's nothing. That's just a piece of paper. A lot of our business is trust. To go get online and click, and buy a diamond is something we're not used to. This day and age, many people do. You might say that, okay, I got this for a really good price, but guess what? I mean, the cut might be there. It's not there, I should say. The fluorescence of a diamond, where it's more milky, you're gonna not be able to see that. You have to touch, you have to feel. When you're investing thousands of dollars into something, you have to see what it is. You have to understand. That's what makes us big different from, let's say, online. You get to touch it, feel it, look at it, understand it, get educated on it. Because everybody wants to be educated, I think, and make an educated guess.
Well, I think that's what's so important about making sure that you have a relationship with a jeweler that you trust. Because
it's very important.
I mean, you can go and, when I go to the mall and, you've got all those jewelry shops, and it all, I mean, I'm not saying they're bad or good. I don't know. But I just know if I'm going to go spend some money I want to know who I'm working with. And
Well, Margie, there's no jeweler that's like us. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure there's not.
There's many. There's many who I think can be the same caliber and can have the passion. But the biggest issue is know what you're buying, understand and trust it, and know that jewelry is not just an investment financially. It's of your time, which is worth money. It's of your emotions, and believe it or not, it's you're investing in the gift of I love you, the gift of, you've been with me for so long, or the gift of happy anniversary, or we have a new baby together, or any of the sort. Jewelry represents more than just there's a ring on your finger. It represents emotion, love. It represents relationships. To us, that's what it means. So for us to give you and offer you jewelry that will just break apart is nothing that we want to do. We want to offer you something that when you invest your time and energy and love and emotions through it, it must be perfect.
Well, and we're a week away from Valentine's Day.
Sure.
So everybody listening, you have till next Saturday. That's the day. And again, if you don't get your significant other something, 53, you might be married or hooked up, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, with that 53% who will dump you. So make sure you have a gift. Preferably bling is always better, right?
Absolutely.
But okay, we're going to talk about more things when we get back with Ronny, but right now I just want to shout out to our sponsors. Thank you, Rebecca Bartley with Icon Mortgage, Christy Candleberry, the Christy Candleberry team, and Jason Orton with the David Chapman Agency. You're listening to the Margie Shard Show. To talk to a financial advisor, go to shardfinancial.com and click on Ask Margie a Question link. You're listening to the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. Stick around.
Margie Shard and her team can help you through life's transitions. Whether it's retirement, widowhood, divorce, or remarriage, call 810-714-5566 for a free consultation. With Shard Financial, you'll get answers and results. Her office is at 1537 North Leroy Street in Fenton. Log on to her website at shardfinancial.com or call 810-714-5566 today. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor member, FINRA SIPC.
Looking for a mortgage loan and need someone that you can trust with the biggest financial decision that your family will make? Hi, I'm Rebecca Bartley from Icon Mortgage, and I have 17 years of experience in this business. I offer on-the-spot pre-approvals so that you can start the search for your new home. From zero-down rural development loans to conventional and veterans loans, I can make it quick, simple, and all understandable. Put your trust in me, Rebecca Bartley, and call me today to take that first step toward home ownership. You can reach me at 810-516-4227 or go to my website at rebeccabartley.com.
Buying insurance doesn't need to be confusing. Jason Orton will answer all your questions and educate you on the product you're buying. Jason Orton is an independent agent with the David Chapman Agency. They've been serving Mid-Michigan with affordable personal and commercial insurance needs for over 30 years. Don't let insurance confuse you. Call Jason Orton at 517-319-8225 or log on to his website at jasoneorton.com.
Shard Financial presents Backpack Night, March 5th at 6 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Gateway Center, sponsored by Chassé Ballroom and Latin Dance Studio of Fenton. Backpack Night is a fundraiser for a project of the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, providing over 15,000 hungry children in Genesee County with a backpack that contains breakfast, lunch, and dinner each weekend and throughout the summer. You can help. Join us for Backpack Night, where you'll enjoy a strolling dinner, a fashion show, a comedy show, live and silent auctions, and more. Call 810-577-5291 or go to backpacknight.com for more information.
You're listening to Genesee County Super Talk 1570.
Welcome back to the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. I'm Margie Shard, and I'm in the studio with Ronny Medawar of Medawar Jewelers. But it's the Flint, Lansing, and Fenton locations if you want the Ronny Medawar touch, correct?
The Lansing Frandor, yes.
Yes. So, Ronny, we're talking all about bling, and one of the things we're talking about is just, is jewelry investment, is it not an investment? And Some of the questions that I get from my clients are, what's the difference between jewelry that's produced in a factory setting versus maybe diamonds that are actually mined?
Absolutely. Huge difference. Huge difference. I mean, something that comes from God's green earth is definitely worth more than something that, was created in a machine. But, and I try not to, I don't get into those. To me, let's talk about business for a second. For me to invest and to be a good steward of my business, it means that I have to invest our business money into something that will hold its value for longevity. To me, investing into natural diamonds is an investment.
So buy the real thing.
Correct. I mean, listen, some people, it comes to a point where we got to start somewhere, and it's okay, and it doesn't matter. We have many ways to do that, but I mean, if you need to put a cubic zirconia in, hey, why not do it? But you're not using that as an investment. If you go and take a 1 carat diamond and put it in, and it's natural and it's everything that you learn it to be, I give you 100% of your money back toward your next diamond. So, I mean, if that's not an investment to say, okay, I'm investing into this ring and I get 100% of my money back toward my next diamond, why wouldn't I do it?
So do you get a lot of people that come back and upgrade?
Absolutely. I mean, I've had people start at 0.5 carats and now they're at 1.5. Have people start at 1.5 and now they're at 3. It doesn't matter how much you upgrade, even the shape or whatever the case may be. If you just want the same size and the better color or better clarity, it's no problem. We believe in how we do it. We're direct diamond importers. So the guy who cuts this is the guy I deal with.
Okay.
So I buy right, I buy big, and I pay for it, up front. And that's the best way for me to offer my clients a better value.
When we took a break, you were talking about the amount of business that's done in Genesee County, and I was kind of blown away by that.
Yeah, it hovers around $30 million a year.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
In jewelry, around it. Yeah, people don't really guess that, but it's an investment people make. And again, you can make a $30 investment for Valentine's Day that means something, and that's a huge investment right there because you're investing in your time and energy and a gift for that special someone you love.
So if someone comes in Medawars and they want to buy a jewelry gift, and because they want to be in the 47% category of partners who don't leave them for Valentine's Day, if they come into Medawars and they have $30 and that's really their budget and what they want to spend, what's a sample of something that they might be able to get?
There's actually many things in Medawars that you can do. So
for $30?
Yeah, absolutely. There is, well, first of all, a Pandora bead, of course. We can do that, and most people know about Pandora looks like. But other than Pandora, we have Wind and Fire or Alex and Annie. Those two, they're little bangles. They stack. They hover around $30, and they're not much more than that, or they're not much less than that. And you can give her one thing that says, "I love you to the moon and back," and that right there says a lot. And it only costs $30, but it means more than just here's a rose. I love you. I love florists. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of florist friends, but let's be honest. A nice "I love you to the moon and back," and you mean it. And you give it to her. Because
she's always going to think about you every time she puts it on.
You got it.
So tell me about when is the quality of the diamond the most important? Is it for your ring? Is it for earrings? Is it for both of those? Like when is it so important that you get the best of the best?
Well, quality is always important. Now, do you need the best quality that is on your ears? Right now, I'm looking at you, Margie.
I think I do.
Yeah, of course. Think I do. But you have your hair down, and you need very good quality because that's what you're investing in, right? So you get what you pay for. Period. I tend to sell more engagement rings with a higher clarity and color and cut than I would that would be something in the ear. Yet we sell more earrings than anything, believe it or not, because of our diamond studs. And we make them. So you definitely can choose. It all depends on the person. It depends on what the kind of investment they want to make. And I know that when they make an investment with me, with diamond, let's say diamond stud earrings, the same thing happens. You can upgrade them at any time.
So what's the lowest range of diamond stud earrings that somebody can buy, and the most expensive?
Well, you have included, which has inclusions that you can see with the naked eye, or there is flawless, which is, and I've never ever in my life sold a flawless diamond stud earring. It's just, if you have a flawless diamond, keep it in the safe. You know what I mean? That's a true investment. You know? So, but you have slightly included to the first level and second levels where you shouldn't see anything with the naked eye. A G color, which is near colorless and in the middle, it's important to have those specs and understand them, and then understand where to go with them. That's where you put your money into. Okay.
So when you've got a client coming in, and let's say they just really have no idea what they want. They're looking for a gift. How does that process normally work? Because I think for a lot of people, they're intimidated about going into several things. They're intimidated to go to buy an automobile, and then I think jewelry can be just like that sometimes, because I know I've gone into some jewelers before and kind of felt attacked. I've never felt that way in your store, but walk us through that process.
Well, I can't speak for anything that we don't do. But what's important to us is we're going to first ask questions and just say, what brings you in? And tell me what you're thinking. Tell me about her. Tell me about him. What do they do? And then we can give our, recommendations on different things in ours, even if we have to create it for you. Well, that's what we do. But that to us is we need more information. Then most people feel intimidated. Well, first of all, you walk into a Medawar and you might see a big chandelier, or you might see something, and that's something, hey, we've had that before. And we say, hey, this is just, we want a great atmosphere. It has nothing to do with our pricing. You don't have to pay for that chandelier. It's paid for, put it that way. You come in and you can experience education, experience understanding, know what it is to buy what you're buying. To us, that's what makes us proud. An educated customer, to us, is the best customer, because when they shop around and they know what they're looking for and know what they're buying, that's when we have the up on up. And that's when the people say, I want to go to Medawar's. I have a great place, a great atmosphere.
And I don't feel pressured or intimidated.
Exactly.
So we've got a little bit of time left, but one of the questions I get asked a lot from clients is, how do they price jewelry out? So can you touch a little bit on that?
Absolutely. Well, it's pretty much quality of the diamond. And diamond aside, let's talk about jewelry itself. There's labor that goes into building this ring.
It doesn't just magically happen?
It doesn't. It doesn't just grow. Not these days. Maybe one day. But, there's a lot of time and effort to put in build a ring. Okay, then you have to set all the diamonds. Then there's the gold content. Of course, it goes by weight. And it usually is labor and gold are almost the same. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of time to do something. That's really how they price jewelry. It's like anything else. There's labor, there's material. Okay, and with us, we try to squeeze both to get you the best value you can. I do tend to hire very, very, very good jewelers, and I want to pay them what they're worth, and we offer them that service for what everybody else would offer them at a jeweler that would, just have good experience. To me, that's important. Fixing your ring or fixing your necklace is just as important to me as selling you a ring or a necklace. It needs to be strong.
So having the expectation that you're going to go buy a piece of jewelry and that you're going to be able to sell it in the next year or 2 years for the same price really is not, unless you're buying a diamond that's really super high quality, flawless, you shouldn't really expect that to go up in value.
Well, no.
Because of the labor factored into it.
You got it. It's about the labor. But I tell you what happened to gold, 3 years ago or 6, 7, 8 years ago till now, people have sold their things when there's not much labor into it for more than what they paid. Jewelry is also not just gold and diamonds. It's watches, Rolex watches, for instance, that we have at our Flint Township location. I tell you what, there's nothing I've seen that really holds a great value as that as well.
Okay, so if people, again, if they want to come into Medawar's next Saturday, listeners, Valentine's Day, be in the 47% that gets to keep their relationship. Go see Ronny at Medawar's in the Flint location, Fenton, or Lansing Frandor.
You got it.
Ronny, I want to thank you for coming in. It's been very enlightening, and I know our listeners probably learned a lot about jewelry today, just like I did, which is always, again, I love bling, so what's not to love?
Margie, thank you for letting us come here and speak with you. This is a great show. You're a great person, and we appreciate this very, very much.
Well, thank you. Okay. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have Ilse Hayes from NBC 25 talking about being divorced and dating again in those awful financial conversations. Thanks to our sponsors, Rebecca Bartley with Icon Mortgage, Christy Candleberry with Christy Candleberry Team, and Jason Orton with David Chapman. You're listening to the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. Stay tuned.
Margie Shard and her team can help you through life's transitions. Whether it's retirement, widowhood, divorce, or remarriage, call 810-714-5566 for a free consultation. With Shard Financial, you'll get answers and results. Her office is at 1537 North Leroy Street in Fenton. Log on to her website at shardfinancial.com or call 810-714-5566 today. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor member, FINRA SIPC.
Are you getting ready to sell or buy your home? Need some real honest advice? A realtor who will actually get real with you? No false promises, just plain good old-fashioned care, trust, and advice? Then you need to get Christy.
Hi, I'm Christy Candleberry of Remax Grand. I have 20 years experience in this area, and the number one value I bring to my clients is trust and honesty. I get real with them, and I get them moving in the right direction.
Call 810-691-5914. That's 691-5914. Or go to getchristy.com.
Shard Financial presents Backpack Night, March 5th at 6 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Gateway Center, sponsored by Chassé Ballroom and Latin Dance Studio of Fenton. Backpack Night is a fundraiser for a project of the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, providing over 15,000 hungry children in Genesee County with a backpack that contains breakfast, lunch, and dinner each weekend and throughout the summer. You can help. Join us for Backpack Night, where you'll enjoy a strolling dinner, a fashion show, a comedy show, live and silent auctions, and more. Call 810-577-5291 or go to backpacknight.com for more information.
Stand out from your competition with a custom-made dynamic website from Shard Marketing and Branding, your small business marketing solution. Whether it's website design, social media management, referral marketing, event management, graphic design, community engagement, and business development services, Shard Marketing and Branding is your small business marketing solution. Call 810-577-5291 or log on to shardmb.com today.
The more you listen, the more you know. Super Talk 1570.
Welcome back to the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. I am in the studio with our Valentine's Day episode on Love and Money, and I have the beautiful Ilse Hayes.
Ilse Lujan Hayes in the house. Whoop, whoop.
Hey, Ilse. So excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here, Margie.
So for everyone that may or may not know, Ilse is the NBC 25 reporter, and she's also a major contributing writer for On the Town magazine. And she writes about love, relationships, and dating. And Ilse, I've read your articles, and frankly, they're hysterical. I love them. But you are a divorced mom.
I am.
Single mom, raising three beautiful daughters.
3 beautiful girls, ages 7, 9, and 16. And I was married for 14 years. I've been divorced for about 5 years. And I have to tell you, if I thought marriage was hard, well, divorce is probably just as hard. I mean, it's been really tough. You know, I try to have a positive attitude, but I definitely have I found a newfound respect for single mothers.
Well, and your schedule being a reporter, is that pretty crazy?
It is crazy. because I work for the morning show, I'm up very early. Our show is on, right before the Today Show. So it does allow me to get home for the girls, before they get out of school. But one of the things that I constantly struggle with is time. And I'm sure even working moms who are married struggle with this. I know they do.
I do.
I know. And but I have to point out that when you're a single mother, in particular, if you have primary custody, you are doing it by yourself. And so it is harder. And I know, and I'm not saying that we should have pity, because I know there's a lot of people out there that say, hey, you chose it, you're divorced, you decided to go solo. So I'm not saying that, pity me, but it's hard. It's definitely hard.
Well, before we get started on some of this stuff, one of the things I wanted to talk about was how, at Shard Financial, we have quite a few clients that are single again, the suddenly single category. And so whether it's through widowhood or divorce, some of the issues that you write about and you struggle with, and that you and I have had conversations about, really are difficult for a lot of my clients and some of my friends as well. So, Elsie, as a suddenly single again woman who's out there looking for love again and dating, how important is it that your soon-to-be new partner or possible partner is financially stable, holds a job, things like that?
Sure. It's huge, Margie. I often say that in your 20s, or, if you're during, when you're courting for your first marriage, let's say, you have the luxury of just being in love. And that's a beautiful thing. You're almost oblivious to all of the things that come with it,
Yeah.
You really do. It's a cliche, but you really think love is enough. But that something changes when you've been married once and you are looking for this potential, second partner, the person that now you would definitely like to grow old with. You've had a reality check. You know what marriage is about, and you know that finances are critical to the family unit. So yes, to answer your question, I'm going to actually answer it in a tiny little story. I was out on a date with a gentleman that I'm dating, and I'm currently still dating. It's just been a few months, but I was flabbergasted because there we are across the dinner table at a restaurant. And he point blank asked me what my credit score was.
Oh, and no kidding.
He did. And, he wasn't disrespectful. I could tell that he genuinely wanted to know, but I was caught off guard because that is so personal. But I understood where he was coming from. It's almost like this, when you're dating and you're divorced, you really want to know, is this person financially responsible? Or does is this person, does he have steady income? How will he or she be able to contribute to the family? These are things that you think about because chances are, I know I have kids, he has kids. How will this all work if potentially this led to something? And I know it sounds so unromantic, but you have to think about it. So anyhow, I'll admit, I was offended. I was thrown off. I didn't know how to answer. But we got through it. We had the conversation, and I went ahead and told him my credit score, which luckily, I'm proud of it. but anyhow, it was a reality. That's the reality of dating. People are thinking.
Do people normally, because I have a lot of clients that maybe they're recently widowed or recently divorced, and so they're just getting out there again for the first time. Is that how it normally comes up, the financial question? Is it normally, hey, what's your credit score?
No.
Or how do you approach, do all guys do that? Or is that...
I would say no. I think definitely it was a unique situation. This particular individual is obviously very forward, and to the point. Luckily, I had gotten to know him a little bit prior. I don't think that's an appropriate question, let's say on your first date, But so I was a little bit more comfortable with him as far as, continuing to date him after such a blunt question.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky after that.
Yeah. But no, I think the way that it does come up first is on those first few dates, you kind of gauge, by conversation, how long the person has been employed and what they do for a living, that type of thing, And then as time progresses, you kind of pick up. I think it's tough because you're not living together, obviously. So the other individual could really tell you whatever they want to tell you, and you kind of have to take it for face value. But it generally comes up, I would say, just later on, and it's more of a casual conversation. You try to be discreet, but the other you always know that's something that's important to both people.
I think something that's really important to point out here is, you're not looking for a sugar daddy or someone to just make it so you don't have to necessarily work. You're just looking for someone that's financially responsible and stable in that area to where you're not going to have to take care of somebody financially. And I think that's a big thing. And I think it's something when, I have clients that are going through this and they're trying to figure out, how to approach this topic. I think that's one of their biggest fears is that they're going to be looked upon as someone trying to find a sugar daddy.
Sure. I definitely know that, I've been single for 5 years, and I've dated quite a bit during that time. And I'm very proud of it because it's given me a chance to see what I want, what I don't want. But one of the things that I have noticed during those 5 years is that men in particular, they are big time thinking about finances, especially if they're older. And a lot of second marriages, if you notice, the gentlemen seem to be older, than their second wives. And so I noticed that with older gentlemen, they start doing the math in their head. Okay, I'm this age now, she's this age, her kids are this age, by the time I'm, and so they play it all out. And in fact, I've had candid conversations with men, and they admittedly have said that, yes, this is what they do in their head. They have to figure out, by the time I'm this age and I'm retired, what will she still be working? How will this all play out? College funds for the kids. And so, yeah, it is a very big deal. As far as women, I think one of the things that, I will admit, and I'm going to be vulnerable here, when I first started dating, I looked at, because I'd been married for 14 years, I was so used to that partner, being there if the car broke down, or if, a bill needed to be paid, there was a second income covering that. And so as a single mom, I was naive to think that second potential partner would have the same mentality. And the reality is now he's got he's worried about his life, his children. That doesn't make him selfish. He's trying to do the right thing for his kids. So I've learned that I can't, I really have to solely depend on myself and to support myself and my children.
Bouncing back to, you said you talk to men about this frequently, and I know you have very open, honest conversations. That's why I wanted to have you on. But do you find that women are looking more for the financial security where maybe men are looking more for, they know that they maybe are financially secure or they think they can do it themselves, and it's not, the female's career isn't maybe as important to that, or income isn't as important, where females it's a little bit more important, or do you not find that?
Here's what I think, and this is just my opinion. I think that women, myself included, I think security is important because not that you want, like you said, a sugar daddy or that you're a gold digger, but you're working your tail off. You have kids that you have to provide for. It would be wonderful to find a partner that is selfless enough to want to help, take some of that load off. So for a lot of women that I talk to that are in my situation, yes, security is important to them. They want to know that there's a man out there that would be. But this is the challenge, because what you want may not be the reality of what is out there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's what I want, but I've had to really push myself and know, okay, Ilse, if you don't meet him, it's on you.
Well, and I've seen this with a lot of clients where, they go and get remarried and they don't tell me they're getting remarried and all of a sudden call and tell me that they got remarried. And all of a sudden it's a big surprise that their new spouse is in debt or, doesn't have maybe the investments that they thought he had, and are really surprised to learn that they're maybe in a worse financial situation, or maybe they lost pensions or alimony or medical benefits because they got remarried and weren't weren't thinking about that kind of stuff. So we're going to have to take a quick break here, but when we get back, we'll talk more with Ilse about love and money. And I want to thank our sponsors, Rebecca Bartley, Icon Mortgage Lending, Christy Candleberry, the Christy Candleberry team at RE/MAX Grand, and Jason Orton with David Chapman Agency. To talk to a financial advisor, go to the shardfinancial.com page and click on Ask Margie a Question link. You're listening to the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. Stay tuned.
Margie Shard and her team can help you through life's transitions. Whether it's retirement, widowhood, divorce, or remarriage, call 810-714-5566 for a free consultation. With Shard Financial, you'll get answers and results. Her office is at 1537 North Leroy Street in Fenton. Log on to her website at shardfinancial.com or call 810-714-5566 today. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor member. FINRA SIPC.
Buying insurance doesn't need to be confusing. Jason Orton will answer all your questions and educate you on the product you're buying. Jason Orton is an independent agent with the David Chapman Agency. They've been serving Mid-Michigan with affordable personal and commercial insurance needs for over 30 years. Don't let insurance confuse you. Call Jason Orton at 517-319-8225 or log on to his website at jasoneorton.com.
Looking for a mortgage loan and need someone that you can trust with the biggest financial decision that your family will make? Hi, I'm Rebecca Bartley from Icon Mortgage, and I have 17 years of experience in this business. I offer on-the-spot pre-approvals so that you can start the search for your new home. From zero-down rural development loans to conventional and veterans loans, I can make it quick, simple, and all understandable. Put your trust in me, Rebecca Bartley, and call me today to take that first step toward home ownership. You can reach me at 810-516-4227 or go to my website at RebeccaBartley.com.
Stand out from your competition with a custom-made dynamic website from Shard Marketing and Branding, your small business marketing solution. Whether it's website design, social media management, referral marketing, event management, graphic design, community engagement, and business development services, Shard Marketing and Branding is your small business marketing solution. Call 810-577-5291 or log on to shardmb.com today.
Are you getting ready to sell or buy your home? Need some real honest advice? A realtor who will actually get real with you? No false promises, just plain good old-fashioned care, trust, and advice? Then you need to get Christy.
Hi, I'm Christy Candleberry of RE/MAX Grand. I have 20 years experience in this area, and the number one value I bring to my clients is trust and honesty. I get real with them, and I get them moving in the right direction.
Call 810-691-5914. That's 691-5914. Or go to getchristy.com.
The more you listen, the more you know. Super Talk 1570.
Welcome back to the Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. I am in the studio with Ilse Hayes, NBC 25 reporter and also contributing writer for On the Town magazine about love, relationships, and dating. And we've been having a pretty good conversation about what women and men are looking for and how important finances are and some of those crazy dating situations of how to talk about finances. Ilse, before we get into some more of that, did you know that 53% of women would end their relationship if they don't get anything for Valentine's Day?
Wow. I mean, that does surprise me. That seems awfully high.
Now,
do you mean boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, dating relationship?
It just says the percentage of women who would end their relationship if they don't get anything for Valentine's Day is 53%. Are you in the 53% category or the 47% category?
Okay, I will admit, if I was dating someone and I did not get a Valentine's gift, I mean, I wouldn't dump him, but I would. Because I'm such a hopeless romantic, I'd get my feelings hurt.
So they should know that you're a hopeless romantic and bring you at least a bite of chocolate or something.
Absolutely. They should know I'm a hopeless romantic, and they should know that I inhale chocolate.
I hope your current boyfriend's listening so he doesn't get dumped on Valentine's Day.
He's not my boyfriend.
Oh, you're dating.
Yeah,
okay.
I have to clear that up only because
So you're still out there then? You're still available? Are you technically available?
I'm only clarifying that because he's made it a point to say that we're dating exclusively.
Oh.
And so, in fact,
what's the
that's
difference?
a whole different. That's a whole
What's
different.
the difference between dating exclusively and boyfriend versus girlfriend?
I think, as far as I'm concerned, dating exclusively means that you're not dating anyone else, but you have not gravitated to that boyfriend girlfriend official, relationship.
So you can still look but not touch?
Margie. It's funny because he and I have had talks about this. He has been real adamant, hey, we're dating exclusively. And I'm like, I will admit, the girl in me, I call it the woman, the chick in me, is like, well, am I, does he not want a girlfriend? What is this about? But I've learned to try and just not overanalyze, let it be. But I don't know. He's kind of hinting now toward wanting a girlfriend, and now I don't know.
We'll have to do an update show with you when you move to that status or the other status.
Okay.
But depending on whether you get a Valentine's Day gift or not.
There you go.
So when we took a break, we were talking a little bit more about the difference between what women are looking for in men and finances and how crucial that is. And you brought up some really good comments about women versus men in terms of what you've seen as their expectations. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Now, keep in mind, I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion. What I've learned, because I talked to a lot of people.
But hey, girl, you're out there in the world, so
I'm
it's
out
your
there in the
world. We're all living in it today. So
it's my own little, research, if you will. I constantly talk to people about out in the field. Of course, I'm doing my job, but I love talking about relationships. And one of the things that women, single mothers in particular, of course, tell me is that security is important to them. They obviously want to contribute what they need to. They work, but they do look for a man that can also bring something to the table. One of the things that I've noticed is that with women who are on the high scale of pay, it's less important to them. They still want a man, obviously that can contribute. And this is going to sound horrible, but it's almost like they can kind of just what's the word? Because they are so financially okay, or maybe their first husband was well off, so then the child support and alimony from him is, really alleviates that pressure for that single mother. But they don't seem to put as much importance on the guy that they're dating with the money they make. Now, women who are in my situation who also work full time, but they're not in making that 6-figure income. They're barely making it. And that's the reality, Margie, that when you are divorced, especially if, your ex-husband doesn't contribute as much as you'd like, or he can for whatever reason, you are struggling. And that's a lot of pressure. So you do put more importance on the guy you're dating, hoping that he's financially, responsible.
When we took a break, you were talking as well about what men that are dating now, what they're looking for. And do you want to talk about that? Because I thought that was an interesting viewpoint as well.
Okay, I hope I don't get in trouble for this. Here's what I've noticed.
Okay, here comes the dirt.
Listen
up, listeners.
And what I'm about to say isn't anything new, but I've noticed that older men who are dating, let's say, gals that are, let's say, 20 plus years younger than them. They don't seem to mind if she, doesn't contribute financially. That's what I noticed. This is just what I've noticed. And that would make sense because we've all done it. We've all seen that guy who's really well off and you're like, wow, how did he get her? Right? She's like a little hottie. And I mean, and that's just the reality, and I'm not saying that they don't love each other or that, wasn't meant to be. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying it crosses your mind. Like, how did he get her? Well, and then you come to find out, oh, well, geez, he's really set. So for him, if the woman doesn't make that much money, it's not a big deal. For most men, that's what I noticed, older men. Now, with men that are in my age bracket, and we don't have to say what that age bracket that is, they're working men, professional men, they do want a woman that contributes. They're not, they plain and simple, because they know that they've also had the burn of a divorce. So they feel the sting of now the income being gone. He has to pay child support. So he realizes, wow, if I don't have a gal who brings something to the table, I mean, there's you know what I mean, the lifestyle. He doesn't have the luxury of saying anymore. I want to be able to, if my wife wants to stay at home, I want her to stay at home. I think they tend to look for women who are work-minded.
So, we talked about how on your first date, your current non-boyfriend but exclusively dating person asked you, what is your credit score?
It wasn't our first date, but yes, go on. It was maybe, I want to say, our fourth.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my bad there. But so how do you know that the person you're seeing is telling the truth? Are you background giving these guys a background check? Because I have clients, both male and female, that have literally done background checks on their significant others. And I've had, and then I also have some clients that, got married and really didn't know or were actually, had some other idea in their head about how financially well off their partner was, which is a very different reality. So how do you know what you're getting yourself into? And what do you think, listeners, if they're in your situation, should be doing to make sure that they're not getting themselves in a situation that they may financially regret?
Well, there's two ways you can go about this. You can look at your potential, suitor very businesslike and say, you know what, this is what I'd like to know. And I do have friends who are that way. This is what's important to me, and please don't get offended. But, at some point I would like to know these things about you financially. You can be point blank. I will admit that's not me. I can't do it. I can't sit there and ask those questions. You probably, as my friend and as my financial advisor, would probably say, Ilse, you need to do that.
Well, I would have you come in and say, we need to do a financial plan between the two of you. And so, a lot of times I say that to people and they don't really get it. And then they come in afterwards. It's like, no, you need to do it beforehand.
Now, do you mean when you're engaged or when you're dating?
Sure.
When you're boyfriend and girlfriend?
If you're engaged, if you're going to take that next step, you need to, or if you're going to move in with somebody, there's a lot of things happening. I have a lot of clients that maybe did civil ceremonies but didn't make it legal, or religious ceremonies but not legal. Because they may lose benefits from, their ex-spouse. They may lose alimony or medical benefits or pensions or even from their deceased spouse. So, there's a lot of different scenarios that are going on. But if you're going to live with somebody or if you're going to take that next step and get married, whether it's just religiously or legally, you really need to be looking at a coordinated financial plan. And it doesn't mean that you have to combine all your money. But what it means is that you're starting to plan financially together going forward as one versus just, doing your own things and not worrying about the other person.
That's why you're the financial planner. I'm going to take it, and I will. I think we all should take that advice to heart and really, approach, dating that way. What, the other thing I was going to say is, what to answer your question, how can you know what, a person's finances and how they are as far as handling finances? I think time is the best test. If you are dating someone and you notice, how they live, you can see their lifestyle. Granted, they could be living this lifestyle on credit cards and you wouldn't even know it. But if you see that, they're like, for example, I notice that when guys, let's say, are frugal, but not to the point where it's, I don't know, I guess a little bit too much. Like he's not breaking out with a coupon at, on a date or anything, but he's being responsible. Like I think a woman notices those things and that sends a message. Keep in mind, if you're dating this person for a certain amount of time, it sends the message, he's being responsible. He's, little hints here and there. And then of course, over time you get to the big picture.
Okay. Well, Ilse, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to definitely have you come back for another episode because I think there's a lot more that we can talk about this. If you're going through a transition or someone that's going through a transition, whether it's widowhood or divorce or maybe remarriage or even retirement, go to www.shardfinancial.com and you can click on the Ask Margie a Question link and we can help you with your financial planning needs. Thanks to our sponsors, Rebecca Bartley with Icon Mortgage Lending, Christy Candleberry at Remax Grand, and Jason Orton with the David Chapman Agency. You're listening to The Margie Shard Show on Super Talk 1570. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great week.